If you're watching this on January 29th, I'll be commentating on the Lodge Live Big Game 100 200 No Limit with Doug Polk and Brad Owen. I believe it starts at 7 Central. And I'll be heading to the Lodge to play a little bit this afternoon. So today's video once again was scraped from the YouTube. Collery gets himself in a very, very strange spot in the land of live, free, or die. Okay, so 2-5 chasers.
Yep. So no straddle on in this hand. Kind of a mix between straddling, no straddling, but
Okay.
this hand was just pure 2-5.
Okay.
So the villain is the effective stack here. He has 1235.
Okay. So you cover him, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Not maybe not after this hand. But I have Ace of Clubs, Queen of Diamonds under the gun.
Ace of Clubs, Queen of Diamonds, UTG. Okay.
And I raise to 20. Standard 4x open.
Okay.
The villain is in the cutoff.
Okay.
And he 3-bets to 60.
Okay.
So I guess I had a little bit of a decision pre-flop here. Do I 4-bet? Do I just flat? And in this case, I ended up just flatting.
Well, everyone folded in between, right?
Yes, everyone else folded.
Yeah, that's pretty standard. I mean, sometimes, it would be very, very nitty to just fold to a 3x 3-bet with ace-queen off. I always go to the example where ace-queen does become a fold in very tight scenarios where maybe it goes open call and then somebody comes swinging out of the small blind that you think is tight and you're not going to go heads up with it. But obviously, I'm going to definitely defend here for sure.
Definitely. Is there any merit to 4-betting? I just felt like in this case there wasn't because if people are only 3-betting really premium hands, super linear, then if I 4-bet and just get 5-bet kind of jammed on.
I mean, if you 4-bet, you'd have to do it to a size where you could fold. I don't know. It seems to me like ace queen and ace queen gets put in a square call here a lot. And then if you have stack depth, you would prefer to 4-bet ace queen suited. I mean, ace king is called here a lot too, heads up, and it's somewhat of a tight configuration, right? You're opening from UTG and cutoff is 3-betting. Obviously not as tight as early versus early, but still.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so I flat and then right to the flop. So 120 in the pot.
Yep.
Going to the flop.
Uh-huh.
The flop is Queen of Hearts,
Mm-hmm.
3 of Diamonds,
Mm-hmm.
2 of Hearts.
Okay, so you flop top pair.
Yep, so we flop top pair, top kicker.
Yep.
Not a bad scenario. So I check, which is what I would do with any hand I arrived here with.
Uh-huh.
The villain ends up betting 75 into 120.
Okay.
And I just call.
Yeah, I think that's pretty standard. I mean, you don't have to protect against much here. A couple hearts out there. You don't have a heart in your hand. He bet 75, which is, maybe about a 60% pot size bet. So now it looks like we're going to about 275-ish to the turn, right?
Exactly. About
Okay.
270 going to the turn.
Uh-huh.
So the turn is now the 5 of clubs.
Okay. Pick up a wheel
Which,
draw now.
Yep.
Okay.
And it seems like kind of a brick, but yeah, pick up the wheel. So a little bit of extra equity if we are behind.
Yep.
So I check again,
Mm-hmm.
and the cutoff now bets 200 into 270.
Okay. Well, I still think you have a clear call here. And then depending on the river, you can make a, sort of a decision. And sometimes you just end up getting owned here. Like if the river is like an offsuit 8 and, he takes you for 3 streets with king, but it's just really hard to fold. It's going to depend on the sizing and obviously depend on the texture of what the card is.
Right. So yeah, I saw nothing else to do here, just besides call.
Yep.
If I raise, he's just going to fold out worse hands and just call better.
No, yeah, you wouldn't raise here. Okay.
So really interesting river card here.
Uh-huh.
The Ace of Spades.
Ace of Spades. So this is one, and I remember your email here, where it's a little bit of a, I don't know if I want to call it it's a little bit of a paradox in live poker in this particular spot because, and again, I keep pointing back to that King Jack hand that I lost big time on the lodge with the $20,000 cooler title. It's like you sort of are playing the hand like a bluff catcher. And the theory goes, and it really makes sense logically, that if you're playing a hand like a bluff catcher, then even if you sort of back into a strong hand, like say you were calling down with, some under pair and then you hit a set because you didn't believe the guy. There would be really no reason to lead out, right? Because you want to let him to continue to bluff. This situation is a little bit different though because of the fact that King will just check back, and you might get called by hands that are worse here because of the fact that the front door has busted out and you don't really have much 4x. So I think on a card that sort of changes the nuts very drastically, you absolutely can have a leading range here in this particular spot. The other thing too is that when I'm taking a look at hands that would just bet anyways for value here that you beat, taking a value own line like ace king, or say he 3-bet with ace 5, I still think that those hands are all still going to check back and they might call you. So I could actually really see a lead here. Now, the issue though is that you have to understand that neither player probably has many 4x here. And you could kind of think that the cutoff might have more 4x than you, which really is the only thing that really should be raising here at the end. So if you do lead and get raised, you can be very, very exploitable if you, I would say, were to fold, giving the guy like 4x, if he's only raising 4x. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. So I thought for a little bit here, and I did end up leading. I had the small stakes exploit kind of in the back of my mind. People are going to check backhands that they should be value betting on the river, even if it is as strong as 2 pair. And if I checked and he checks back and shows me kings, I kind of feel like an idiot.
Yeah, it's interesting from your opponent's perspective because I actually would take another page from the small stakes exploit guide here if I was your opponent. Now, I'm not going to bet king because I think you have enough like ace x that might have called or had straight draws or something. But I mean, if I had ace king and, well, it's interesting. No, because you called the flop though. So, it's ace jack and ace 10. It's really hard. Like, it would be a little bit different if the flop was like ace high. See, I think you can make very, very thin value bets on runouts on 4 straights if you think you have the guy out kicked on the flop with top pair. And they'll just call you down because they think you're betting a 4 or nothing. So I actually take that back a little bit because this board is different where he's not going to really have ace jack or ace 10 unless it's hearts. How much did you bet for here?
Yep. So into a pot of 670, I ended up betting 275. So it was right around 40% pot.
Okay.
And then he jams for 900 total.
Wow, that sucks.
Yeah. So now I'm starting to think about what combos beat me here.
So it looks like it's about 1850 and it's what, 525 for you to call. Is that right?
So I led, and so the pot was 670 going to the river. So
Right.
I led for 275. So
Right.
that
So
put the
that's
pot around 950.
950 and he jams, right? So it's 1850 and then
Right.
it's 520, 625 for you to call.
Correct.
Okay.
So I guess just from a price perspective, it's a decent price. But I'm trying to think of what do I lose to here. There's one combo of aces left.
Right, and I
One,
don't. And the thing is that you block ace, ace, and queen, queen, and I don't even know if those hands are raising at the end. To be honest with you,
right.
because if you were in that spot and you had those hands, you might have a 4 here, whether it be pocket 4s or
Hmm.
ace 4. Right now,
Right.
ace 4 is a straight on the turn, obviously.
Exactly.
So I mean, you'd have to just check call on the turn, but possibly maybe 4-4. I don't know if people are. I don't know. I wouldn't be concerned about getting sort of value towned here by ace ace or queen queen all that much. It really comes down to I would be very surprised here if this guy just if he has a value hand if it's a 4. Now on the flip side to this, obviously river spots are under bluffed live,
Right.
but if you really do think he's only raising with a 4, here's the other sort of complex or perplexing thing about this hand is, would this guy ever do something where he doesn't think that you have a 4 and he's trying to move you off of it? I think it's really tough to fold here. I think honestly getting 3-1, and I really don't have a problem with the river lead here.
Yeah. So yeah, I was just thinking like kind of what beats me here. Just one combo of aces, one combo of queens, 2 combos of ace 4 suited. And then is he ever overvaluing ace 5? Ace
Well,
king of
I
ace.
mean, how is he going to be over if he's not going to raise the river with ace ace or queen queen? How is he going to raise the river with ace 5?
Yep.
I don't think there's an overvalue here that you beat. That's for sure. That's for
Gotcha.
sure. This is really just like a bluff catcher slash you might get taken to town once in a while by higher sets that you block. Really.
Yes. So I regretfully called,
Uh huh.
and I was shown ace four of diamonds for a turn straight.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, what an unfortunate river for you. Same thing for people in the live chat saying ace three of hearts. Why would a guy jam ace three of hearts here? It just doesn't make any sense at all. Really. Yeah, man, that's a tough one, and that's just a shitty river for you. And again, it's just one of these spots where it's a complex river just for your action in general from up front because of those reasons. Now, if your opponents don't call enough, then obviously you can play hands like bluff catchers that are strong or take it where you want to balance and have very strong hands that you're checking on the river to stay balanced. A lot of that stuff goes out the window at this level, I feel like. And so I do truly believe, like, mid to small stakes, usually a lead here is probably going to return the most amount of money, and then whether or not you call the river or not, it's just really, it's kind of gross when I really think he's only raising for value with a four. So
Right. Quick question on the lead. So I led about 40% pot on the river. Is there any merit to leading maybe a little bit smaller and then just folding to a jam if you do get jammed on?
I don't know. I mean, 275 and his 675 is not that large. I mean, it's not quite blockish, but then you start to go down the rabbit hole of like, are you inducing a bluff if you were to
Yeah.
bet like 100, right?
It doesn't happen that much. I feel like at a Chasers 2-5 game, I was
Yeah,
thinking maybe if I led for like 150, 175, and then he just jams for 900, then
yeah.
I guess I can fold, just try to squeak out a little bit of extra value.
No, it's
Um,
it's a really. I mean, it's definitely a shitty spot, and I don't. It's tough. I got to tell you for sure.
yeah.
But I appreciate the call. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, Bart. Appreciate it.